Okay. I decided not to go live and do this. I'm just gonna go ahead and record a video of it, and then I'll post it on my YouTube channel. But this is where we're at, and I'm liking it a lot. So let's continue painting the background. I know I want to paint it a blue for this guy. And I think the color I'm going to use is a color called Blue Haven. And this is a pretty light blue, and that's what I'm after. And probably what I'll do is I'll wait and see what this looks like on here after it's all said and done. But I'm probably going to take a ruler and draw a line straight across and paint the bottom green. But right now I'm going to paint everything blue. I mean, this is just a sign. And I guess I kind of don't want it to look like it's floating in midair. But like I said, it's just a sign. So I don't think I'll put a score line on the file, because maybe people will not want to paint green at the bottom. And so by me doing that, that kind of locks you in. I don't think I want to do that. Kind of give you options. I'm not worried about getting the paint and the score lines. That's for placement purposes only. For the camper and for the lettering. And I'm going to paint the lettering probably that same poodle skirt pink. And then I did make a sun with some sunglasses, because I'm thinking of placing the sun right about in here between the wording. But I don't know if that would make it too crowded or not. So I didn't include score lines on that as well. Because some people might, you know, if I decide to keep the sun, some people might not want it. By me putting score marks in there, it kind of locks you in. And what one person likes, another person may not, so. Hopefully this isn't too bright of a blue. It's pretty blue. I don't know how I feel about that. So, it's a lot brighter than what I really wanted. I was hoping for a lighter blue, and I've used this color before. So I'm going to take some of this Blue Haven and some white. And lighten it up. Because I do want a pale blue. This is definitely a light blue. This is almost on the same lines as the blue chiffon. Which is another color they have chose to retire. So I don't want to use all my blue chiffon for this background, because I use that color a lot. So what I've done is I've mixed some Blue Haven and white. We'll see how that goes. Definitely will have to do a couple coats because I have that darker color underneath. And as I see this dry, I mean, it's lighter, but amazing. almost looks like it's drying. Same color, somewhat, in certain areas. Still pretty blotchy. Okay, let that dry pretty good. All right. Set that aside and paint the lettering. And like I said, I want to do the lettering pink. So I'm going to use the Polo Skirt pink. And then what I'm going to do is probably do some pink chiffon and dry brush the top of it. I'm putting way too much paint on my sponge. Hopefully that glue is not too light. Well, let's see here. I think that's a lot better. I might end up doing pink, a darker pink. Now I'm kind of really thinking that I need to do some green. Put the grass on the bottom. So, so I'm gonna get that Hauser light green. put it on here. And this will either look good or it will be an epic fail. And hopefully it's not an epic fail, but things have not gone well today. I have way too much water in my brush. Something I could have done and I didn't even think about this. And I might go back. Is painter's tape. And I think I'm gonna do that, or I'm gonna be here a month of Sundays trying to do this. It just makes sense. And it will be easier on me. So we'll try this. And the green always takes several coats, so I'm gonna be here a little bit doing this. I really shouldn't be putting a whole lot of paint on my sponge, especially going by that tape. It's funny, I can see those paint strokes. That's gonna end up being an epic fail. I'm going to do the neutral gray. To paint the inside of these sunglasses. And to be honest with you, I didn't leave a whole lot of room, so I'm going to be doing the frame, redoing the frame. So you can paint it a different color. Or eliminating the frame altogether. There's definitely not a lot of room. It may look good on screen, but sometimes when you go to cut them, it's not all that. So by me painting and stuff, it kind of tests my design to make sure it'll work. And then two, if I have made a boo-boo somewhere, it kind of tells me I need to make a correction. I might not want this sun at all, but I'm going to paint it up as though I do. Alright. Good enough. And hopefully that paint did not bleed through. Could have been better, but could have been better. I might just go and fix that up a little bit. Just tidy it up a touch. Normally, what I do when I'm using painting tape, and I'll explain it to you. First thing I like to do is I put the tape down. Look how I did. And then what I would do first, before painting the actual color that I really want to paint this, I would paint this base color first, down. And you're probably thinking, well, why would you do that? What that does is, yeah, it takes a little extra time and some more paint. But what it does is it puts like a sealer, in a sense. A barrier. And then so once that dries, and then you go to put your green color down, it doesn't bleed through. It will not bleed through. It's actually a pretty good trick. I do that a lot when I painted my porch greeters. I did that a lot. Especially on, I always did it on the legs, but it's great for when you're doing stripes. Like I said, it just takes a little bit extra more, time, but you end up with a better result, because there's nothing worse than putting tape down and then it bleeding through. this way better. Because that's just too difficult for people to paint. And I don't want it to be stressful for people to paint my designs. Probably if I was smart, and I'm not really all that dumb. Today I am. I should have painted the glasses pink first, and then went back and painted the gray. That's the smarter choice. I'll have to go back and touch up, but I'm not really worried about it. But that would have been the smarter choice. I'm not working smart. I'm making a whole lot of extra work for myself. Too much. So I'm going to make sure I have good enough coverage of pink before I go back and paint the insides. Or I'll be going back and forth all day long. Now it kind of looks like this one section is a little bit narrower than the other side. So I definitely will be redoing these glasses. This paint is already dry, this gray paint. Terrible. Okay, good enough. All right. So I just think that's a better choice. It just looks more, what's the word I want to use? Authentic? So, okay. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do a little dry brushing on this lettering. I'm using the Bubblegum Pink. I'm trying to go about a third of the way up. Of course, I'm going to get that whole bottom section of the P and the Y. But I'm just trying to add a little bit more brightness to this lettering. And I'm just touching this oh so lightly and gently. Because I'd rather go back and add more. Than have too much go off on it right away. It is just so darn hot. Yeah, I do think it needs that sun. Just another color. And I might even dry brush a little pink chiffon on the top. Maybe make it a little ombre. Which I'm not all about the ombre. And this I'll just do like the tips of the lettering. Just the edges rather. This is a better way to explain it. I'm hardly going down far on these letters at all. Really kind of feels that shading could be a little bit darker. It's very subtle, and I might go back and just float at the bottom. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's just try and tidy up the bottom of these letters a little bit. I'm just going at the very bottom. Just to clean them up a little bit. All right, I'm gonna take some banana cream, a little banana cream, and a lot of white. Because what I'm looking for is a pretty pale yellow to do the outside of the sun. That's how I do my suns. I just make the outside very, very pale, and then I go back and do the center with just strictly some banana cream. Sometimes I do highlight my tips of the sun with some white. I just want it really a pale, pale yellow. I don't care that I'm getting it in the middle, because I'll be covering that up. I just want to make sure I get a decent coverage on the outside, especially too because I'm mixing the paint. I guess I'll do the whole sun. So let's kind of see where we are. I might even start glowing as well. I'm letting that dry. But just adding those colors, I think, helps brighten it up. But that's what we're looking at. And I think adding that sun will be an added bonus. I think it'll make it look a lot better. See, just putting that in there like that just adds a different color. mixes it up. So, and then once I put the sunglasses on, it'll kind of tie everything together, which I need to go back and tidy up that one little area of the sunglasses. So hopefully that's not too dry. We will see. Okay. Good enough. Take some straight banana cream and do that center. And this will be done. And if you wanted to add some shading to the center of this, if you're gonna do the same colors I'm doing, I recommend Antique Gold. That's the color I usually shade with. I feel like it's pulling off the paint. Alright, well, while that's fine, let's just glue this. So this is just a fun little sign. If you're a camper or you know somebody that does camp, this would be something perfect to have in their camper. Well, that's too much glue. I do think I need to put a little bit more paint on there. But this is definitely a cute sign. I like it. If I still had my camper, I probably would be having this displayed in my camper. Or hanging outside, because these sign frames, you can hang them as well. Maybe I would have it hanging outside onto my camper, only if I had, the only way I do that is if I had a, what's the word I want to, awning. So you have to decide where you want those glasses. And I kind of like to do it at an angle, but that's it. She is done. Something else you could do if you wanted to get creative prior to gluing everything on, you could paint some clouds in the background onto the sky. That would be cute. But this is it, and I like it. It's very colorful. It screams summer, and it's adorable. I really, really like this. So that's it. So thank you for watching. Join me next weekend on Facebook for another live tutorial. I will be working on a, I'm either going to do another interchangeable sign. It'll be my other style of sign. I have a Farm Fresh interchangeable, and I have a Halloween interchangeable. Or I'll be working on a design for my bench, which I have a fall and a very farmhouse rustic country insert. It is absolutely beautiful. So until next time, take care. Bye-bye.